As a big Pokemon freak, I was duty-bound to try out Pokémon Scarlet when it came out, to get up to date on the new dazzling open-world type Pokemon game, and to naturally get acquainted with that duck. Yes, I thought, I love the duck. I love some of these ugly, hideous, beautiful, confusing, creative creatures. Here I am in the new, endless, gorgeous world, ready to throw my balls. But I soon became irritated. There were things that felt wrong. I didn't like my ugly school uniform. I didn't like some of the Pokemon. I'm sorry, I have to admit, I don't like this thing. I didn't like the over-tutorializing and railroading. All text boxes and no play make Lily go crazy, you know? I played for a while, I evolved my duck into the Barry Manilow bird, and I wandered the landscape. But what got me, soon enough, was the traversal of said landscape. Unlike dear Breath of the Wild, which has become something of a gold standard for buttery smooth Nintendo controls, even with the godforsaken evil rain which comes at inopportune moments to punish us for daring to climb, Pokémon Scarlet's movement is notably clunky. Riding around on your big Pokémon feels great at first, but cliffs get in the way and you slide off them agonizingly. Things just don't feel right. Talking to people will sometimes, but not always, disappear your vehicle Pokémon, and you'll plop down pathetically human and small in front of this, quite frankly, rude NPC. As soon as you finish the conversation, you'll press the plus button and get right back on that big boy. But for a moment, the flow was unceremoniously broken, and it feels humiliating. I hope no one saw me. The on-Pokemon traversal of the world requires upgrades which you'll get through battling titans scattered about the place, but for a good while I didn't know about this, and so the roadblocks, the awkward modern iteration of hidden machines HMs from the older games, makes its gating off of those abilities feel so conspicuous and ugly. You jump into a river and the screen fades to black. Can't do that, idiot. After one too many times getting stuck inside a valley of cliffs with an unupgraded base level Koraidon, that's the name of the svelte vehicle lizard Pokemon here, I'd had enough. With a few hours of playtime, I quit the game entirely. The glitchy, ugly, clunky experience had to come to an end. I don't want to see any of these hideous clothing options ever again. Fast forward to the autumn of 2025. I'm at my granddad's house. He's watching House of Games on a high volume on his TV. It's time, undoubtedly, for me to play my Switch. But which game? Not Tears of the Kingdom, which I finished a little while ago. Not Animal Crossing, I don't want to talk to those animals. Not Final Fantasy VIII, because I despise Squall's replacement model. Ew, nasty boy. No, I'll just load up my Pokemon Scarlet save, I thought. I'll just see where I am. So I opened the game, and I saw that I had 4 gym badges, and I took a look at my beautiful dancing bird, I adjusted my look, and I got to work killing Pokemon. And after all that time away, my frustration had mellowed. I still felt that moving about the world was a bit annoying, that things were ugly, and that crucially, there was a general aimlessness to the game that made it not feel that engaging. But I was able to enter a vague sense of flow this time. I let go of my distaste. I breathed slowly. I relaxed. First, I fought the Titans, which gave Koraidon his full set of abilities and took away some of the most aggravating parts of getting around. No longer would I sadly slide down cliffs or be halted in midair, although even with his climbing ability installed, it doesn't feel great to get up on those cliffs. The switch between the normal walking and running state and the climbing state is far from seamless, and so scaling mountains feels extremely awkward and imprecise. I'm on it. No, I'm off it. No, wait, I'm on it. No, I'm off it. I don't like having to do this. I really just, no, get me off of that cliff. There are similar problems when entering and exiting bodies of water. You can't really do it well while moving, so I ended up stopping and starting a lot to exit the water. It also feels weird to glide because there's a kind of freakish end to each glide. You glide along, everything's normal, and then all of a sudden you're speeding downwards, you're hurtling to the ground. The glide doesn't come to a controlled, gentle, graceful end like Spyro the Dragon's beautiful glides. Instead, it ends in a rapid descent, and it's frightening. Oh, I don't like it. Another issue with movement is less to do with the movement itself, and more to do with tiny, pesky Pokemon that pop in directly in front of your feet split seconds before you barrel into them and trigger a fight you didn't want. Get out of my damn way, Igglybuff. I'm trying to go somewhere. I've never been annoyed by Final Fantasy random encounters, as frequent and as game-stopping as they can be. But these useless, lingering Pokemon desperate to be crushed under my wheels are very, irritating. In a game which puts such a focus on speeding across the fields and such, it's hard to stomach this instant and hard to avoid complete stopping of momentum. I'm literally on my way, and then there's some rookity in my face. At least where the outfits are concerned, I can take off my ugly hat and buy some new socks. It's not much, but I'll take it. You know what? That's just like me in real life. Yeah. She got some socks. Don't be jealous. So I got all the gym badges, I defeated the Elite Four, I told this guy what Chugi means. Great, I did it. I've seen every corner of this thinking world. And I have to say, I like this woman. She's magical. Her hair is so large. Her eyes are so piercing. She's really cool. And there's a few character designs that do speak to me despite the thin characterization overall. But what I notice more than anything about Pokémon Scarlet is just how empty it is. Despite the presence of a million Pokémon trying to get trampled at every turn, this is a world that feels bereft. Most of it is environmentally fairly dull, and the cities feel sparse. The NPCs have nothing interesting to say, the buildings are largely empty shells, the shops are just sandwich buying menus, and I don't care about eating sandwiches in this game literally at all, so I don't know why they're so heavily emphasized. It feels weird to say that because I love sandwiches. I'm certainly the kind of person who would get really into a sandwich type game, but these sandwiches just do nothing for me. I'm sorry. I am a sandwich hater, and I'll stand by it. Walking around, it feels hollow. It feels like walking through a miniature diorama of a town, only that would, in reality, be more wondrous. I love miniatures and their meticulous, lovingly crafted details.
Lovely open countryside, sheep grazing on the hill, and the road in the cutting down below, serving a obviously flourishing community.
Here, it feels like a thin facade. You can walk past some doors and get caught in a void that lays bare the thin construction of this thing. The school you're enrolled in has a large, impressive, prestigious building, but when you explore it, much of it is single rooms connected by a menu. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. I didn't complain when Final Fantasy X used a menu like this to navigate the land by airship instead of using a world map, but there it felt natural and hidden, rather than super conspicuous. This school is made to look like a sprawling, impressive modern academy, full of bookshelves and stairs, but it has so many edge-of-the-map spots. It just feels so brazen. Here we are, in a nothing world, with nothing people. Once I had picked up the game again, it didn't take me too long to do everything. To get the last 4 gym badges, to beat all of the Titans, to crush Team Star, I did it all. And I enjoyed it, taking everyone out, catching some more Pokemon, whatever. Treating this as if it was a more straightforwardly linear game is probably the most satisfying way to play it, but nevertheless the empty, sprawling spaces of its world haunted me. Just knowing that always, no matter what, there was a lilting, still world out there, where little children stand unmoving, defeated in battle, and just stuck in their place at the edge of a featureless grassy path, where cliffs await, hostile to your adventurous limbs, where Pokemon linger in groups like flies ready to swarm you and enter your body while you open up a menu, and where the out of bounds lurks, waiting to swallow you up. For you are the player in a nowhere land, a husk of flat, featureless wilderness. But you know, in the end, I got Mousehold. I literally have Mousehold. That's all that matters. Mousehold. Yeah.